rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the crop, gotta love it or not. I'm hot from the hop to the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with everybody, we do it. Everybody, we do it.
It's your boy MJ up in the building. I'm ready to rock. Yeah, as you can see, I'm ready to rock. Ready to get this shit on the fucking show on the road. You know what I mean? I just smoked some shit that I haven't even tried before. So let's see what happens. If this is your first time tuning in. Well, first off, it's your boy MJ up in the building. Excuse my excitement. Had a good night's rest. And I feel back, man. I feel great. But yeah, this is your first time tapping in with us. Good morning. Welcome to Trap Talk with MJ. Hit the subscription button. Do your boy a solid. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Hit that notification bell. Leave me a comment. Give me your feedback. Let me know how you like the guest. And let the guest know how you like it, man. Leave them a comment. Drop something. It's free. Don't cost nothing. And yeah, man, definitely we should. The early birds up in the building. There's fucking people cracking off right now. So I'll get to you guys in just a second. I do want to say also before we get into things, there's a link in the description below to the Reptile Relief program that's out and helping people in need in Texas and whatnot, and any reptile relief. So if you could do anything to contribute, please go down to the link below, click the link. And then go ahead and click the link to USARC too. Anything helps. Like anything helps. It does, like you don't need to have a certain amount or anything like that. Anything you can do to help people in need in this reptile community really, really helps. So check that out in the link if you don't mind. Do your boy solid. That would really mean a lot to me. And then of course, any kind of super chats that are done into this episode and any Trap Talk with MJ episode moving forward. Let's all make this clear right now. Anytime anyone puts a super chat, $1 to $5, anything, it's all going to be donated to USARC or the Reptile Relief. I'll do half and half, whatever's necessary. All right. But everything that is contribute to this channel, as far as in the super chats and whatnot, will be donated over to USARC. Okay. Or the Reptile Relief Program. So it's what I can do for you guys. I love you guys. Let's go ahead and work more together. I know there's a lot more we could all do as a team, right? Because this is a team thing, man. And if anybody played sports out there, like if you guys really played sports, and not that everyone did play sports, but the people who did play sports out there, that mentality of sports, you didn't get along with all your teammates. You know that. Like, come on, let's be real. And then you had people on your team that were fucking really good, right? And you just didn't really fuck with them. But when it came down to game day, and it came down to fucking shit that needed to be done together, we played as a team. I played on championship teams. Trust me, we had a lot of people that just didn't fuck with each other, but we won shit together. You know what I mean? So think about it, right? And even if you didn't play sports, if you listen to what I just said, that analogy actually works, So shout out to the fucking one of the coolest sponsors. My fucking mind went blank. One of the coolest sponsors I have on this platform, and all my sponsors are legit, but we're going to start with Cold Blooded Cafe, freshest and bestest delivered to your doorstep. www.coldbloodedcafe.com. $30 flat rate shipping anywhere in the United States. They do not play around when it comes to them taking care of rodents that are delivered to you. And I've been working with Cold Blooded Cafe for, 2 years. So shout out to Desiree, shout out to Steven, Amanda, Mindy, the whole team over at Cold Blooded Cafe. Good job over there, guys. And then shout out to John and Alex over at Sim Container, man. Whew, they put me on game with something that I can't wait to talk about more, but it's happening. So just be ready. But when it comes to your eggs, man, you need to get those eggs hatched. You're a little stressed, oh, what about humidity? Like, what about the egg box? Well, dude, just stop the worries. Get a Sim container, put your eggs inside of a Sim container and watch what happens. You're going to be like, holy shit, I didn't have to worry about anything. Yeah, I'm telling you, less is more, man. Sim containers is where it's at. Big time. Check them out. Sim container. When it comes to enclosures, I'm telling you right now, PVC'd built enclosures based out of Texas. What's good, Texas? Focus Cube Habitats. Shout out to Steven and Ashley over at Focus Cube Habitats. I got my beautiful enclosure that they built for me, and I love seeing my beautiful emerald tree Bianca just posted in there and whatnot. And it's just a beautiful sight. And all I could do is look around my room and just imagine what it's going to be like when my whole entire room is decked out in Focus Cube Habitats. And man, I'm telling you, my style means a lot to me. So if I'm really repping something like this, you're going to want to check it out. So they're on Instagram. Check out their website, Focus Cube Habitats. That's where it's at. Need I say much about Freedom Breeder, the team, Freedom Breeder? All right, Jesse, the squad over at Freedom Breeder, love what they got going on. Who doesn't? If you got a stainless steel rack, you know where it's at. You're literally on that level, if not already at that level of being a professional breeder. If you have a Freedom Breeder rack, because they're stainless steel and they don't lose value, and you never have to worry about that. And then shout out to the big homies, man. It's an honor to say that we have Miguel Garcia, Always Evolving Pythons, and Aussie Boyds, LLC, sponsoring the Trap Talk with MJ podcast. They support this channel. That right there means a lot. I do want to make these guys proud. So, it goes both ways. They make me proud for what they do to the community, and I want to make them proud and all of you guys proud by just bringing great stuff to the channel. Okay. Obviously there's a lot of, the talk's not as much, but as far as what happened yesterday, I don't ever want to bring something like that to my channel ever again. Like, this is not what this hobby is all about. Okay. We're not going to talk too much about it because it's already water under the bridge. There's not much noise. I do want to say thank you to all the love and support. A lot of people, I haven't even gone to all my DMs yet, man. And that's, it's crazy. I appreciate it. And I'm not like deleting things because these are all positive feedbacks I'm getting in my DMs. So thank you so much. And if I haven't gone back to you, don't take it personal. I'll get back to you. I promise. But yeah, man, thank you so much. What's good with my early birds? Who's here? Who's in the building? All right. I was up here earlier, and I know I saw Robert Johnson, and then there was the big homie Mike, the homie Josh. What's up, Josh? This right here is a big time homie, the big real deal. This fool, who's he's like a made dude in my Patreon page, and he's all about it. He supports the channel, and he's actually one of the first dudes who gets any information. And I'm not lying. Josh gets mad info when it comes to shit. And I'm glad you're here, Josh. Shout out to the homie Josh. Convicted Constrictors. I like that name. What's good? The homie Elliot Perez. What is cracking, Elliot? Thanks for being here, man. Safe Haven. Karen Quality. I like that name. What is good? The homie Dylan. He's not ready for this dab off session. You're going to get smoked, and then we're going to hug afterwards. Ballistic Pythons. What is good? We got Canada in the building. I'm glad Canada's here because we got a hot one from Canada. This dude is fucking, he knows his shit, so I can't wait. Dorian, what's good? Dorian Sparks up in the building. Chris, what up, Chris? Pied Mountain up in the building. What's up, Pied? Homegirl Mindy. Got the big homegirl Mindy. Black Sun Reptiles, what's good? Buckeye Morphs, what's cracking? Condor Family, is that right? Condoran Family Exotics. Hope I said that right, man. Rainy Days, Reptiles, what is good? Iron Ball Pythons, what is good? You guys are all here, man. Thank you so much. So I don't want to keep our guests waiting. He's had a long night. He had to, do some stuff with his computer, but he's up and running now and he's here. And I'm excited to bring this guy on because he's a mastermind of a lot of big things that people look up to in this hobby. And we're going to dip more into it right now. But here we have the homie Austin De La Silva, but mostly known as King Austin from Royal Highness Pythons. What is good, homie?
What's up, everybody? How are you, man?
Top of the morning. How are you, bro?
I'm doing amazing. Pretty good right now. A little tired, but it's going good.
So it's what? It's 11 o'clock your time right now?
12.
Oh, 12.
Yeah.
3, right bad. All right. So real quick. So unfortunately, Austin, your computer crashed or what happened to your computer?
I was uploading my YouTube video last night and I went to sleep with it uploading and I woke up this morning around 6 just to make sure it was uploading and it crashed my computer last night. So I had to re-upload all the footage off my camera and I had to edit it. It was a big headache, but got it all done. So
yeah, that's the worst, bro. Honestly, bro. Okay, I'll tell you what. There was times like back one of my DJ times where I would spend so much time on a mixtape and somebody would be waiting for it, right? And back then, wasn't the way I would do my mixtapes is I would record them on my controller, but there was like WAV formats and MP3 formats, and I always needed it in a WAV format. And for whatever reason, I had to do it through SoundCloud. I don't know why. So I had to upload it through SoundCloud. And I remember there was countless times where, for whatever reason, it's like, 2 hours for this mix to upload, right? And I would be like, all right, computer's on, everything's fucking good. I'd go back and then something stupid would happen, like a pop-up would come up or something. And you're like, what are you kidding me? Like everything was fine. So yeah, bro, it's just something you don't want to wake up to all the time, and especially when you need your computer, you know what I mean? So
especially this morning, right?
You're like, what the fuck? Yeah, go figure. You know what I mean? So, but hey, listen, this is why I do the sound checks and shit. I make sure that way we're all good. You know what I mean? But yeah, we're good, man. I'm glad we got the sound check done. You're here, bro. I want to know how you're doing, and whatnot, man. And for a little bit, for people who are wanting to get a little bit more back information on you, just like kind of tell us, what is it that you do on a day-to-day, right? And and just kind of introduce yourself if you don't mind.
Yeah, so I'm Austin. I work in Mutation Creation. I've been there for just about 3.5 years, almost 4 years now, and it's been a really cool long journey. Billy's a great guy, and he's given me a great opportunity to push myself and just grow with Mutation Creation. And I became a big part of Mutation Creation, and it's really nice to be a part of that crew. We have such a great chemistry, all of us, and even Katherine now coming in. It's a really cool thing to do, and we all have our own jobs in Mutation Creation. I deal mostly with the breeder females and breeder males. I usually clean them, I pair them, I help Billy with the pairings. We choose what we're gonna breed to what, feed them, and then I also do the camera shots for Mutation Creation.
Nice. Okay. So now before, now that you kind of established what it is that you what you do as far as with the snakes, I want to know a little bit. Cause dude, I've talked to Billy before and your shit, bro. You and him are go back and forth on you tell him what you should be pairing sometimes, right?
We go back and forth. It's pretty
back and forth.
Yeah.
But for even Billy to listen to somebody be like, all right, I feel you on that. That's respect right there. Cause we all know how passionate Billy is about his projects, and no matter how many clutches he has, he's not going to just wing something and say, fuck it. I think every decision matters to him. I feel with this clutch. Right. And for him to kind of crutch to you and be like, yo, what do you think? That's why I was like, dude, this is a lot. This is huge. So I was like, I got to get this guy on way long ago. And I'm glad you're here now. So, but I want to know, you had to have some sort of passion about these snakes before you got to Billy, right?
100%. I started off with snakes in high school. Grade 11, I first got into retics and boas actually. So I did super dwarfs and I bred some boas. I didn't have the best luck with the boas. I only had one litter. It's a little bit harder to breed. And the retics, they were just a little too big to handle. And I was getting tagged a lot because super dwarfs are really cage aggressive at first. They're always looking for food. So I got rid of those, and then I started getting into ball pythons. I got my first one at like PetSmart, and it was in horrible condition. I rescued it, and then soon I started getting into the morphs. I started with one snake, and then I had like 27 within a month, and then it just kept growing and growing, and I really was passionate for it. Like I spent all my days in school, like not paying attention in class, just looking at like Genetic Wizard and just staring at like all day World of Ball Pythons. Like,
oh hell yeah!
Grade 12, I did not look at school at all. It was just all snakes. I was watching a lot of Brian Barszczuk, and I was just really like focusing on snakes. And I just started breeding at home myself. And I had my first clutch that year. I hit a Blue Eye Lucy, which was like my first goal. I think it's a lot of people's first goal in the hobby. They just want to make that all white snake. So I bred a lesser to a Mojave, and I hit the odds 1 in 4. And I actually have a YouTube video about that I posted 5 or 6 years ago. So I'll actually post a link to that into my Instagram later tonight, because I just found out yesterday and it was really cool. But after that, I just kept breeding, and I kept really quiet about it. I always looked at the forums, King Snake, Reptiles Canada, and I just read, and I was really obsessed with the knowledge and learning, and I just loved looking at snakes all day. And then one day I had an opportunity to go buy a snake from Billy. I went to the facility, he gave me a tour. I was like a kid in a candy shop, and right there and then I was like, this is what I want to do. I really like the snakes, and see Billy push it to that level. Because for me, it was only me watching people on YouTube, and everyone was in the States. To see someone in Canada doing it, and like someone like the way Billy was just so down to earth. He was so nice to me. He gave me like an hour-and-a-half tour, and I was just coming to buy a $300 snake at the time. So it was really cool, and it just blew my mind. And from there, I just put all my time, all my free time into learning about snakes and learning about the breeding, and I just did it myself. That's pretty much.
So, I mean, how old are you, bro?
23.
Okay, so yeah, you got some youth on you then. Okay, so so you're saying majority of high school, your focus was just not in school and it was all on the snakes, right? Yeah. And you the Burmese python that you took in, was that
retics?
Oh my bad, the one that was kind of fucked up, right? So
that was a ball python actually. That was the first ball python I got. Yeah. Okay,
so the first snake that you took in was a ball python and it was fucked up, right? And this is at the age of what?
Well, my mom wouldn't let me have a snake, and at 17, I finally convinced her, and I was 17 years old.
So 17 years old is when basically you're like, "Fuck, I got this snake now," and then you just geeked out from there, right?
Yeah. At first, like the ball pythons were cool, but then I went right to the bigger snakes. So I sold that first ball python I got from PetSmart. I just like got it back to like good health. It was like stuck shed, looked dehydrated, wasn't eating. It was like 3 years old, still about 500 grams. I got him up a little bigger, sold him. Then I got into the retics, the boas, and then 2 years later, I sold all those stuff, and I just went all into the ball pythons.
Wow. Okay, cool. So then let's kind of lead up to things, like, all right, cool. So you're out of high school. What did you do right out of high school?
Nothing really. I just snakes. My parents were really cool. They gave me they were really lenient with me. I was supposed to go to school, but they let me take a year off to focus on other things and like really like show my passion for like sports. I used to play soccer, and then also the snakes as well. So, and then the snakes kind of took over in that year.
All right, cool. Shout out to your parents. You gotta love parents. You know what I mean? Like parents who are down for you. You know what I mean? And like, you seem like a really chill and cool kid too. Like, I'm not not to call you a kid. I'm just a lot older than you.
Yeah, I'm still young.
Yeah, but I mean, either way, I'm saying like I like meeting people who were brought up right and they're not fucked up. You know what I mean? Because everyone is brought up differently. You have people who had shitty parents and they brought up great, like they're fucking good people. Mm-hmm. And then you have people who had the best parents and they just grew up terrible. You know what I mean? For whatever reason.
Yeah.
So to see somebody who did good with their upcoming and with their parents, like that right there touches home to me. Cause I had amazing parents. I was really loved. You know what I mean? I was just a fucking spoiled brat. I was going to tell you, I want to get into why you're called King Austin, and I want to let you know why my family calls me King Michael. Okay. That's yeah. So we'll get into that in just a second. But anyways, okay, cool. So 18, you're kind of just like figuring shit out. And then you said you're 23, you met Billy 3 years ago. So you're about 20 years old when you met Billy, right?
19. I started working with Billy 5 months before I turned 20.
Okay. So 19 years old, you met, and then let's talk about you, like how the hell did the connection start with Billy? Like how are you able to make that happen?
I seen him at some shows. I talked to him a few times, and I first picked up Fire, Woma, a leopard from him, male, in 2019, because I wanted to get leopard into my projects.
Okay.
And then we talked a bit at the next show. I seen him, and I seen he had an Enchi Blade Clown proven breeder male for sale. It was a little bit out of my budget, and I went home that day and I listed my motorcycle for sale. And yeah, so I sold my motorcycle. I got the money from my motorcycle, all of it, and then I went to go see Billy next week. And I went to the facility. I bought Entry Blade Clown proven breeder male. It was like my biggest purchase at the time. Brought it home, bred the crap out of it. And then a couple months later, I seen Billy had an ad from 2 months before. So I missed the ad by 2 months that he needed help at the facility on Facebook. And I decided to message him, like, even though I was late. And he said he could still use some help. So I started coming in a little bit once or twice a week, just for 4 hours in the evening by myself. Billy was there at first day. Then I started coming in by myself. And after that, Billy's first full-time person quit. They couldn't work there anymore. So I stepped up to the full-time position. And then me and Billy just talked a lot and became friends. We spent the majority of our days together.
Nice.
Yeah.
You did right with it. You know what you knew what you were. I mean, you obviously, like, this is another reason, Austin, why I'm always like, I get all fired up, because I feel like if your heart's in the right place and you're in a hobby like this, things just land in your lap. Like, you know what I mean? And if, especially if you're like, you know, you knew where Billy was at, you knew you had an opportunity and you fucking went after it. You know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah. And you have to do that, bro. Like, that's the confidence. Like, that's kind of self-confidence. And, you know, there's people who probably been in this industry longer than us and have just never had the balls to do that. You know what I mean? And like, and you know, I'm sure, like, having podcasts like what we do and stuff, have people come out more. It does. It's helping them a lot. You know what I mean? Because I can tell you right now, I've already had guests who just don't put themselves out there at all. And after they've been on shows, they're like, oh, that felt great. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm glad, bro. That's awesome. So, all right. So you full-time mutation creation. Now, while you're working at Billy's, are you masterminding your own collection at home?
100%.
Yes, let's talk about that. So, boom, you got your feet in the door, mutation creation. Now, look, what's happening with Austin? What's happening with Royal Highness's pythons while this is going on over at Billy's?
I'm just trying to learn a lot from Billy. He's taught me a lot about investing, what to invest in, and he's really pushed my mind into like the future and like not looking for like making stuff now, maybe making ingredients for the future. So right now I'm looking to make a lot of double heads and visual heads. I'm dove really deep into the Ultramel Clown project. I really like Ultramel. I used to hate it. I used to think it was the ugliest thing. I used to think it looked like a banana until I started seeing it in other combos, and then it really blew my mind.
Yeah.
And then I seen the leopard pastel Ultramel Clown, and I was taken away. I really wanted to make that snake, so I have a crap ton of double heads coming, and Krypton head Ultramels coming. So it's gonna be really cool.
All right, that's sweet. How many snakes are you at right now? Excuse me, how many snakes are you at right now?
Breeder females, I have around 75.
Oh man, you're sitting nice.
Yeah.
So how many clutches are you producing a year?
Last year I had about 53 breeder females. I hit 50 clutches.
50 out of 50 out of 53.
I have very good odds with my clutches. The year before, I think I had 41 out of 44, and then it's pretty like.
Dude, that's so sick. That honestly, that makes me happy because, you know, not that I didn't have a good season, but like, you know, I would have loved, I was trying to break 20 last year, right? And I got 13, which like,
that's amazing. It's very close.
Oh yeah, it's still a lot better than what I did the year before. That's all I care about. I just want to
progress. As long as you're progressing, that's all.
Yeah. And then, you know, I had people that just made me feel good because they're just like, yeah, man, hey, 70%, anything above 70 is good. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. I do feel better. But then I'm like, come on, there's got to be motherfuckers that are just nailing it. And then, you know, so I'm glad that, look, because at the end of the day, like, I'm cool that I hit 70, but I'm not settling for 70. I want to hit as close to 100 as possible. So what is it that you think that's helping you out? I mean, or do you just feel like your females are just fucking on point? Like, what
I think it's all a mindset. I think like if you really like believe and like I express gratitude to my snakes. I tell them I love them. I'm a firm believer in this. I even showed Billy this. We had like sometimes we have snakes that do not eat, and I tell them I love them. Before I feed them, they'll eat after.
This is wild.
Vibrations, right? So I'm just trying to send positive vibes to the snakes. And that's what I do when they're breeding. I tell them, as I'm putting the male in, I'm thanking them for the clutch they're going to give me. I'm telling them I love them. It's a lot of positive thinking and just a lot of it's a system, and then just put your positive mindset into it and just look for the future, and 9 out of 10 times you'll see the positive outcome.
Dude, you remind me of the Brian Cusco of Canada. Like I just feel like, I don't know. That's like a loving thing that just Brian, I'm sure Brian does that to his animals. And,
of course. I have a really good feeling that he does that.
Yeah.
Maybe even more than I do.
That's honestly, man. And dude, that's the mindset. If you know that you're doing your best and you're like, hey man, like, you know, you're giving them pep talks, you know what I mean? And it's like, you know, I mean, because you got to understand, I'm sure people just go, oh, it's a snake. And I'm pretty sure that negativity affects like what their project, or like what their what their season's going to be like, you know what I mean? But if you're the coach and you're in there and you're like, yo, let's go. You okay, mamas? I love you so much. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to try that, bro. Call me fucking crazy. I ain't going to ever put stories of me doing it, but I'm doing it.
I read a thing up on a Baxter effect. It's called plant perception. And if you talk to a plant positively, it'll grow better.
I know that.
So imagine humans and animals. So I just apply the exact same thing to animals. And I try doing it to people. So, dude,
if a plant can listen, why the fuck can't a snake listen?
Your dog, your wife, your kids.
Dogs, I believe. See, dog. Yeah, yeah, dude. It's we're literally just cutting out what we could really do for animals by not talking to them. That's nuts. Like, people, I'm not gonna get roasted for this. I'm sure there's fucking somebody who are just like, what? Like, but I don't get. I'm gonna try it. You know why? Because I'm not going 50 for 50. I'm not going. You know what I mean? So if you know what I mean, what's it gonna hurt? I don't give a fuck. You know, my wife likes talking sweet to him all the time. So you know, I'm just gonna support her, and we'll just talk sweet together.
100%.
Yeah.
It's just positivity, and like it even like will change like your outlook on everything. Because if you're just always talking positive, that negative that people like to spew sometimes, it's just gonna eliminate from your life.
Oh my god, this is so moving, bro. Wow. This is nuts. I like it. Cool. So let me ask you this: for somebody who's more of a tough love kind of guy, do you feel like I should just chill out on the females when it comes to tough love, or do you feel like I could give them some tough love too?
The snakes are like the actual females.
No, the snakes.
Oh,
no, I already know that. I already know that part. Yeah, I cut up my.
I hope so, man.
Ain't no tough love with my wife. She'll fucking Jesus, like she'll shut that down, bro. Yeah, I gotta be the sweetest MJ as possible with that. But I'm just talking about, you know what I mean? Like I do like, you know, I always said I'd be a tough coach because like I know what people are capable of and they just limit themselves, right? So
100%. But
and
I feel like when people limit themselves, that's their problem. Like if you want to put a limitation and excuse on something that you're not doing, like I would like to push you there, but there's only so many times I can repeat myself to push you in that right direction before they actually step in. Somebody has to want to change themselves, right? So if I'm pushing you in a direction you don't want to do it, and I say like just push yourself in that direction.
Because I mean, somebody else can only do so much for you, right? Like at the end of the day, it's kind of like having somebody like who wants to change, but then like nobody else can make you change but yourself. Like you know that, right? Like but people don't change until they realize that. Like they realize that it's up to them. It's not like, you know, a lot of people say, well, you know, it's who I'm hanging out with. Well, yeah, that has something to do with it, but you're the one hanging out with them. You know what I mean? Like it's you. You know what I mean? So a lot of people just hate to just take ownership of their own shit. You know what I mean? And once you start taking ownership of your own shit, your life just gets better. Like it really does.
You stop making excuses for yourself and watch how well everything just clicks together.
Yeah, man.
You will have bad days still. And like there's things out of your control that will happen. The only thing is you have to look past it, look for a solution, and just always try to just find that little thing that'll make you happy and just continue in this hobby or even in anything in life. I might both right now.
Let's talk about like the kind of obstacles that, because at the end of the day, like let's be honest, like you starting in the beginning, like even working with Billy, you were probably overwhelmed at some points, right? Like there had to be probably sometimes like you not really knowing what you wanted to work with because there's so much shit, or did you kind of already dial in what the fuck you wanted to do from the beginning?
I was kind of scattered a lot before I went to Billy's, my collection. I already knew about the males and females. A lot of like new people, they have like a lot of males in their collection. Like I like to keep it like one male for like 3 females at least, maybe 4 or 5, depending how big the male is. But like a first year breeder male, I'm putting him to 1 or 2 females. And I just don't like to have too many males because it's rack space. And I just rather have the rack space for females growing up. So when I do transition to females, I can sell them. And that's what I ended up doing basically when I worked in mutation creation. I focused heavily on pie and clown. And I had to sell a lot of things off at first and just really like focus my collection, because Billy's collection he has a pretty broad collection, but he has a really big size collection. He has a lot of different customers who want a lot of different stuff. So seeing that, and then at first I thought my collection was at a good point, but then seeing Billy and hearing him talk to me and hearing how he like goes and like mentors people, like even customers, someone buying their first snake, and he's telling them, don't buy this snake. It's not like built for that project you want to make, you know? You have to go this way. And like I looked at my collection, and that it really like my collection did like a 180 flip. Like it was a big turn. I still had a lot of good stuff, but a lot of the stuff I had for like I first bought, like a lot of spider stuff I had to get rid of, a lot of lesser stuff.
Me, bro. Oh my God, dude. In the beginning, I didn't know, I talk about this a lot, but like in the beginning, I was a visual buyer. Like I would see something and I'd be like, whoa, well, how much does what does this typically go for? And I would type it up on Google and see like, wow, that's like $400 and it's on Craigslist for $100. So like I was just buying shit like that, you know, which I always say, don't go that route ever. But I just was ignorant. I had no idea. And I didn't have any snake friends. Like I had to start this on my own basically. But you know, I didn't know there was a codom and recessive. I didn't even know what the fuck a word codom. It's just, you know, I'm embarrassed about this, but I was 30-something years old and I was like, what the fuck's a codom? What does that even mean? Like, you know what I mean? What's a recessive? And that's when I was like, oh, like my mind just switched to like the science of shit. But it made me want to learn. Like, bro, I was stubborn with what I wanted to learn my whole life. I only learned what I want to learn. And this game right here, the snake game, like you can't fake, like you can only fake knowing what you know for so long, but like really it affects your animals if you don't have the knowledge behind what you're doing, and it affects your collection, and it ends up showing like, what does this guy even know what he's doing? You know what I mean? So that being said, I this was like, it's kind of how you said in the school, you're like, well, I don't give a fuck about math or anything. Like I'm more concerned about what I want to do with my future, which is the snakes. You know what I mean? And but it's crazy how this kind of game, no matter what age you're at and you come into it, it matures the shit out of you. Like, yeah, it puts you on a different vibe. You know what I mean? And it should, like, you don't like this. Like even the people who, you know, one thing I respect the shit out of Billy all the time is like, he doesn't own that he never acts like he knows everything. Like he will never act like fucking I'm Mr. Know-it-all. You know what I mean? Like he always kind of takes credit that he's still learning too. Like this motherfucker's always climbing a ladder. You know what I mean? And like the Will Morrows, you know what I mean? Like always climbing ladders. Will's been in the game for 10 plus years, always climbing ladders.
It never stops.
Never stops. And that's why like my heart, like honestly, not to be a bitch or anything, but seeing people like Will and seeing people like Billy, wow.
Will Morose, Billy Rose.
Wow. the mixtape. Those sound like the fucking 2 up and coming rappers. Like really, you know, that's Billy. Anyways, but those 2 motherfuckers were why I'd sit back and I was like, man, I really want to make a name in this game, right? But there's people who are on this in a different professional level. Like there's professionalism. It's not just like, I'm going to gather some really good looking snakes and I want to fucking be a superstar. No, motherfucker. There's so many avenues to what this takes to be something in this game, you know, and it's a lot more than just having nice snakes. It's like what to do. It's what to do with those nice snakes. It's longevity. Like how long are you in this game with these nice snakes? And these guys, you know, like Will and like Billy, are just fucking, they have that rap. They have that history of just fucking just consistency of coming out with fire, like JKRs. I mean, there's a list. I'm not trying to just fucking give reach arounds to Will and Billy, but I'm just saying those are really 2 solid examples. You know what I mean? Like really 2 solid examples. So, but yeah, man. And I think what's awesome is like somebody like you to be partnered up with Billy, because I feel like even if you didn't have Billy, you would figure out, like you obviously already have this passion. Like I feel like Billy was just like more fucking fuel to whatever fire you've already started, right? So, but I feel like by him coming, like you guys coming together, you're obviously on a lot faster pace than what you would have been. But dude, with what you got going on in here, You know what I mean? Like that's definitely what the hobby needs. Like you're another Will. You're gonna be another Billy. Like just King Austin version. You know what I mean? You're gonna be your own version, which is sick as fuck. Because I want to ask you, like, longevity for you, right? With all the ball python clutches and stuff. Like, where do you want to go with it? Like, are you trying to get to Billy's capacity? Like, and like because I mean, I'm sure you know what he deals with. You guys both deal with it. Everybody deals with everything. So shout out to the team.
There's a lot of stuff behind the scenes I don't even see still, which I'm grateful not to see yet because I know it's going to be a whole lot of other headaches. But Billy does a lot, but I see a lot of it, and I do want to get big. I do want to like get my own facility. I don't know if I'm going to get my own because he's offered me things in the future, which I definitely going to take 100% because I'd be stupid not to. But I definitely do want to expand pretty big. I like to have like 300 breeder females, somewhere around that.
300.
Yeah, at least 300.
With like with your own squad someday. Like, are you looking to have like a team like with what you have now with Billy?
I don't think I don't know if I'm ever gonna leave Mutation Creation. If there's a time to leave, there's a time to leave. But I don't think that time's ever gonna come. Like Mutation Creation, we click so well, all of us. It's a great community. Like just the friendship we have there. I don't see like ever.
It's kind of the culture you're in. Like that's the way you are involved in this game is how you're involved now. That's what you want to do.
I love the way I'm involved now. It's amazing. The community, like the positivity.
I love it.
It's just amazing. Like I never expected this ever. Like when I started breeding, like when I first got my first 6-7 years ago, I was not expecting this at all.
That's respect, man. And honestly, bro, like the how non-selfish that sounds coming from you, because you got to understand, like there's so many breeders, really well-respected breeders who took people under their wings, and those motherfuckers took advantage of them, or like they got as much information as they can, and they just dip the fuck out, did their success, and act like those people never happened. And that right there, I always respect the people who fucking helped me out in this game. Like, I hate to bring this up, bro. I don't want to bring this up because it's already water under the bridge. But Chris, the whole Chris incident, I didn't bring him on to support him. I mean, not to like say, hey, let's clear his name. I just knew he wanted some sort of chance to do what he can to what he did, which I don't think it was going to help. But he wanted the chance, and I gave him that chance because he was one of the first guys ever to give me a time of day. Back when things were right with me and him, you know what I mean? Things were actually, things were cool with me and him at some point. But, I just will never forget the people who fucking did something for me to where I'm at today. Because now I'm having the best time of my life, bro. Like my life has changed so much, and I'm blessed, and I'm so happy. But either way, I would never fucking forget the people who helped me out in this game. There's a lot of people that I don't even really talk to anymore. And I haven't talked to in a long time, but recently they hit me up, and it just feels good that, like, even though I haven't talked to them in a long time, like they know I still fucking respect them and I care for them.
Friends, right?
Yeah, bro. Still, exactly. You know what I mean? So to hear that you're trying to grow and be a part of the MC shit for good, man, that's awesome. Nothing but respect right there. Because I'll tell you what, man, you guys are a dream team. You guys all click together, and that's hard to do, man. Like that's really hard to do. Especially with like a guy like Billy. Like Billy, you got to understand his style. You got to understand how Billy is. And there's just some people like the way I am. Not, I have my own certain style. I could be a little too much. But if you like work with me in person and you understand the way I work, it's not like this is me. I'm high energy. You know what I mean? I have crazy ADD. I'm just all over the place. But I have passion. I have a big heart. Everything I do comes from the heart, right? But like for me personally, like if I had a facility and everything that Billy had, I don't think I could manage to. I mean, I don't know if it's this luck and the stars align, but it's just really difficult to have a team that you trust and they come to work every day. They're ready to rock and roll. They're fucking, and you guys are just there. Like honestly, kind of got the hair stand up in my arm a little bit when yesterday during the podcast I saw you behind Billy, and then I noticed that fucking Eli and what's the other? I'm sorry, the home, huh? Katherine, what's up, Kat? I'm so sorry, Katherine. I just met her yesterday, but it was really awesome just to see you guys right there behind him because Billy was going through it. He was speaking his heart, but you guys were right there supporting him. He wasn't alone. So those kind of things right there, bro, those are examples. Like people who want to build something for themselves and take it to the professional level, obviously they need a good team. They need people to work with. And man, Team MC, bro, I'm telling you, that right there is like, I'm glad, like I said, I'm just saying, I respect the fact that you know what you have and you're like, dude, why would I leave this? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm killing it.
I could do it on my own, but like, I don't think I can get to this level. Like, cause Billy, like, he's already created so much, and like, just to like give me the opportunity to work there, and like how much like actual like opportunities given me there, and like how much he respects me and allows me to respect him, and just we just work perfectly together in that space. I don't see any reason to leave. So it just makes no sense to, you know, if it's not broken, don't fix it.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Exactly. Now, how far are you from Billy's facility? Because I know you guys moved, right? Like the facility.
Yeah. Well, the other one was a lot further from me.
Okay, so the new one's closer to you.
It's about 15 minutes. 10
Okay.
minutes. Yeah.
And I've seen, you know, obviously like videos of it and stuff like that. And I mean, how does it feel for you? Like you go from like you go from one chapter, right? Which, you know, dude, that's where the king of Flip Cup started in that old facility, bro. Like that's when I started following. You know, I was like, dude, this motherfucker. I was like, I would hit up Lord. I'm like, bro, is this motherfucker just good at Photoshop? Like, what's he doing? Like, does he? Are you editing this motherfucker's videos? He's like, nah, man. I swear to God. And I would watch you carefully, and I'm like, bro, he's hitting every shot. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I'm talking about like, let the fan blow it into the thing. Like, how the fuck? Dude, it was like magic that was making me pissed because I couldn't figure it out. Like, I was like, what the fuck is this guy doing? And I'm like, Billy, I'm sure you're not letting this guy do like 1,000 takes. Like, is he just hitting these shots? He's like, yeah, man, this motherfucker fucks around, but he just, you know, he hits it. And I'm like, dude.
Some shots do take me a while. I'm not gonna lie. Like some of them took maybe like 50 to 100 throws. I'm not gonna like. There was some of the hard ones. You'd be surprised. You get them in like the first 20, 30.
Oh my God! Why's your face look like you haven't been trying though? If that was me, I'd be like, "Fuck!" You know what I mean? Like you're just like.
I just have a pot. Like every time I'm throwing it, I'm picturing it going inside. I'm really trying to like envision it and like see it go in.
Do you talk to the cups too?
No.
Hey, I was just curious. I didn't know.
No, they're not living, so.
You never know. Fuck, you seen Toy Story? Shit.
That's a good movie.
It is a good movie. Honestly, man, I love movies like that. Like I love just really classic. Like Toy Story is something I could still watch like to this day. Like I'm like the first one, right? Like the first one. I love Toy Story, man. It's because you're 23, so you're born in 97.
Yep.
All right. Damn, 97 was a good year. 97 was the first year I won my first motocross race.
That's
I'll never forget. 97. And I think I graduated elementary school in 97.
Oh, that's crazy.
That's nuts. So 97, you're 90s baby. You made it. You're still under the 2000s. And do you have any brothers and sisters?
I have a younger brother.
Okay. How old is he?
18.
18. All right.
He's autistic.
He's autistic. Okay, respect. Does he fuck with the animals at all?
He used to until he got bit a couple times with the babies.
Oh, so he's traumatized. He don't want nothing to do with it.
It didn't hurt him. It was more of a shock factor because it is scary when they still lunge at you sometimes. And
even I flinch still. I don't give a fuck. I flinch all the time. And like, bro, the smallest snakes could snap at me and I'll flinch. I don't care. Like I'm just like, dude, please chill. Like, you know, and dude, I'll be far away and I'll still flinch. I'll flinch from like fucking like 5 feet away. I don't know if I'm just super high, but I'll just be like, oh God. Acting like it's like this close, bro. I don't know. Just it's so funny. So your kid, sorry, not your kid. I'm sorry. Your brother has autism. How's that been like? You know, because I'm sure you're a big brother. You know what I mean. So you've always had to be there for him, stuff. But like, let's see, you're 23. So I don't know why I'm acting like I'm Mr. Math, but 4 years. You're 4 years, or no?
4.5 years, 5 years.
So about what? And you guys never went to school together?
Oh, we did. We went to elementary school together.
Oh, elementary school. Okay. And did that kind of give you some sense of maturity, like pretty quick at an age, because like that's your little brother and you knew he had, you know, some sort of like special needs and whatnot?
Like I had to like look out for him a little bit. Like when I was older, like grade 7 and grade 8, and then, but he already had he had someone with him in school, like another teacher with him, and yeah, he did pretty good. So like I really didn't have any trouble with him, but
it's good.
I have to help him more, definitely. But sometimes we do clash heads because he's a teenager still, so it's not always like sweet.
Yeah. Dude, man, shout out to this guy, Victor. You know what's funny? He's still on Facebook. And I'm gonna tell you right now, man, I've always had a heart for anyone who had special needs. Like there was times where I was mean to kids, like as a kid, but like I don't know if there was just things I really listened to my dad about. And like, he always taught me, like, don't fucking let no one fuck with you. But like, if somebody needs help, you know what I mean? You always be nice and help them. You know what I mean? Even though I had one bad incident with a kid in a wheelchair, but like, I don't want to bring that up. Anyways, so that being said, I always had a heart, right? And then I moved to Washington. I moved to Bellingham, Washington. And I remember I went to school and, I was 16. So I had my friends for years. And then I moved to Washington and like a whole new set of people. And I was just kind of like, and I was still MJ back then. So I was like, I don't give a fuck everybody. And you know what I mean? Like, you better come talk to me before I go talk to you. Like, that was just my attitude. Right. So in the beginning, man, I think the first day of school, I had this kid named Victor and he was autistic. And he was younger, but he was in the older class because how smart he was. Like, he was a smart fucking kid. And his thing was he remembers everyone's birthday. Like, everyone, he would ask you, what's your birthday? And then he would fucking remember it. But then and then after that, he would say hi to you the next day and confirm your birthday. Like, Michael Wars, 8/10/85. Like, he would say that. I'm like, all right, Victor, see you later. And we did that for like 2 years. And I shit you not, bro, like just like 2 years ago, I see his name. I add him on fucking, and I know that you could just check someone's birthday, but I'm telling you, this kid didn't do that, bro. Like, he hit me up. He hit me up and he's like, hey, Michael, is your birthday? Is your date of birth still blah, blah? And I was like, yeah, man. I just started laughing, but I was like, I can only imagine, like, having a little brother and, it has to teach you compassion. You got to know how, like, because not only is your brother, but like people are born with certain things that others don't understand. It's really hard to live on a day to day. Like, it's not easy. You know what I mean?
You're stressed.
Yeah. And, and I'm sure whatever he went through, obviously it affected you too. So it was like a whole family thing, but it's good to know that, it's your little bro, you were there for him, which you should have been, but like you should be, but I'm sure that had a lot to do with why you carry yourself so well, bro. Cause as young as you are, I know when I was your age, bro, I could have never done this. I could have never kept snakes at your age. I was reckless. You know what I mean? I was pretty, and I know a lot of other people like that my age too. So I could tell you right now, I've met some of the most maturest, youngest people in this hobby. Like, like one of my good homies, Stephen Cush, he's not even 21 yet. He's 20 years old. You meet this kid, bro, and it's like a fucking mature 40-year-old, you know what I mean? But he looks like his age, you know what I mean? But the knowledge behind his shit is impeccable, you know what I mean? And, it kind of remind me of a Stephen Cush because how much knowledge you have behind everything that you do, and you're so passionate behind it. Like, you're in the right place for sure, and you know it.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You stoned or what?
Okay, I was going to hit another one. So.
Oh, yeah, you're good. Go ahead. I'm gonna hit another one too. All right. So, anyways, family's everything. I just wanted to, that's why I wanted to talk a little bit about that. And how big is your family? Do you have a bunch of family in Canada, or like, do you have any family in America, like in the United States? Like, where you got family at?
Mostly my family's like in Toronto.
Okay.
I have family in Massachusetts, Fall River, Massachusetts. And then I have rest of my family's in Portugal.
Wow. Damn. That's what's up. Have you ever been to Portugal?
Yeah. I went once for soccer when I was younger, and then I just went on vacation the year before COVID.
Damn. So you used to play soccer at that level where you were traveling.
I was pretty good.
Oh shit. All right. Let's did you get injured? Like, or do you still fuck around and play like, rec league, or what do you got going on?
I just stopped playing in total. Like, the snakes, especially when I started working for Billy, the snakes really like took over everything. But I stopped playing soccer because I needed money. Let's get girls, money. Didn't have time. I needed to work. And I really like the snakes, so I just wanted to go in that direction.
All right, cool. Now, do you miss soccer? I'm sure you miss it, right? If you loved it, right?
Sometimes I'm like wondering, like, what if I stayed in it? What could I be doing right now?
But I'm sure soccer was at a point where it was so serious to you at one point to where it's like it's not that serious anymore, right? So it's like it kind of changed, like the passion for it changes. Like, you still would always love soccer, but obviously you're what wakes you up every morning is the snakes. You know what I mean? And I know what that feeling is, because I always needed something to wake me up and get me going. And I always feel like that was my urge. And I played sports too. Like, I went to University of Washington, played baseball, got hurt. And after baseball, I was like, what the fuck? Like, I was like, then it turned into just making money, like find a way to make money. You know what I mean? So it was like, all right, cool. Don't be good at baseball anymore because you can't play. So be good at making money. Because like not only are you not playing baseball, but now you're back in San Diego where all your other homies that you used to fucking go to school with are making money. Like everyone's balling out. So like I was like, damn, I need to make money. So that was my focus. But then like money comes, girls, party. You know what I mean? I became a DJ and fucking just like, Jesus Christ. Like then like all of a sudden I in my mind, I thought I was like Tiesto and shit. And even though I wasn't, and I was just like, I had this, like, I remember I had a friend of mine who knew me pretty well. And I was actually doing the best I've ever done in my DJ career. And I had met up with him, and he actually was a music producer too, but he produced like reggae music and stuff, super chill. So I presented an idea with him and I was telling him, hey man, we should collab on this, blah, blah, blah. And he looked at me. He's like, bro, get your head out of the gutters. And I was like, what? I was like, who you're talking to? Like, I was like, get my head out of the gutters. Like, you got to be kidding me. I was like, I'm about to go back to Vegas. I'm about to go play back at fucking, wherever the fuck I was playing. I was playing at Dre's all over the place. But anyways, I took it personally, but I didn't really understand what he meant until I got out of it, bro, because he knew like my ambition at the time was just to get popular, to get more fucking like, here, you're going to go here, you're going to go there. Like all I wanted was to be a rock star, bro. Like the party, like, and this fool fucking, my homie Adrian, he's been a part of music like our whole lives. Like he was really about the music. Like
that's where you have to be.
Yeah, and I really I didn't even know how to play an instrument. Like I barely learned how to play a MIDI controller, but all my shit was made on the computer. Like I just like there's softwares now where you can make a song on the computer. Yeah, like fucking yep, Pro Tools, all bunch of shit. So I just got good at doing that, but I even like stopped being good at that. And so either way, like my head was in the gutters with the music because of the popularity, just because I always wanted money, you know what I mean? And I wanted to act like I had so much money during the time I was doing music. And so, yeah, man, it fucking, I don't even know where I was getting at with that. Now my mind's pretty blank. This shit that I'm smoking, I just read up on this stuff.
What is it?
Oh man, so I have a few different stuff. Have you heard of Brass Monkey? They're like they're distributors in the United States, and they're like one of the main ones. Brass Monkey, have you heard of them?
Yes, sir.
So my buddy actually he has a facility, like he actually does the main production for a lot of shops in San Diego and stuff like that. So I just go to him and like he just like recently has been tossing me like 4 different types, and like there's like batter, there's diamonds, and then there's like another like different type of concentrate. So like usually like when I try something different that he has, it usually fucking blows me out of the water because it's like different. I'm a kind of guy where I'll pick up like 10 grams and I'll smoke that for a week, but I'll be smoking that like consistently. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden I'll be smoking something different that he throws me, and then I'll just be like, whoa, you know what I mean? And that's kind of where I'm at right now. But I'm gonna smoke something different. But okay, let's talk about what smoking does for you, because in the beginning of me doing the podcast, a lot of people thought like me smoking was like a gimmick, like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, he's trying to make it look cool. And I mean, yeah, I could smoke before I go live, but I'm gonna smoke again. And then I'm gonna smoke. So you got to get used to me smoking. You know what I mean? I used to drink, and I realized drinking wasn't for me. I don't like drinking. Drinking fucking makes me feel not me. Like it makes me kind of like just be something I'm not. So I stopped drinking, and I just kept smoking and drinking my coffee. And I've been having a really good time with that. Like literally, I don't have no regrets after a podcast if I just smoke.
That's
you know what I mean? So that being said, what is, smoking to you? Like, you wake up, first thing you do, smoke and start with your day, or what kind of smoker are you?
I smoke pretty much all day. Like for me, a lot of people, like they say they get tired and stuff off smoking weed. I'm pretty much the opposite. Like it just focuses me. It makes me like more alert, and I can't understand. I can't explain it really. Like it affects me a different way. A lot of people they think it's gonna make you dopey. Most times I'm still quick on my feet. I still know what I'm talking about. It's just a way to like stay more relaxed and just focus in on what I'm doing, really.
So do you feel like you just have a million things going on in your mind, and it's like smoking is what is like categorizes everything? Like it puts it like in priority, it like prioritizes it. Like, yeah. Okay, like this is what you really need to think about right now, right?
In a sense, yeah. Sometimes like things get buried a bit, but usually like I'm focused on what I have to do. and like I get stuff done. Where like a lot of people that think, oh, he's a stoner, he's a smoker, he's gonna stay home all day, just play video games. Like I play probably the least video games out of anyone. I do a lot of stuff. Like all day I'm working almost. It's if I'm not working at Billy's, I'm working on my collection, or I'm editing a video, or I'm just getting cocoa. I'm doing a lot of things like behind the scenes. Like there's never like a time for me to really like relax. So like taking this is like a relaxer in between. It just really like just makes everything just flow.
It really does, bro. And the thing is, it's like people don't understand, like smoking affects people differently. Like, you know, like differently. Like you gotta understand, like, man, like my dad is so not a smoker, like, and he's proven not to be a smoker. So I don't ever press it on him. I never want my dad to be high because I know my dad would be like funky. Like my dad's good where he's at, right? Mm-hmm. And then you have people that just like it's too much for them, like they overthink, you know what I mean? And they like to smoke more at night, like they're more night smokers, right? And then you have people like us that like that's what's like, you know, that's what starts the day. Like, you know, it's like brushing your teeth. You're like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, have you ever left your house and you don't brush your teeth? You feel like shit, and you're like, oh my God, you're like, what's in my mouth? Like, bro, I may overthink sometimes when I don't smoke in the morning, but smoking in the morning is smoking. That's everything to me. Like I have to, that's what gets me like, all right, what's on the agenda today? You know what I mean? And it more focuses me. Like I just get focused. You know what I mean? It's important. But did you smoke in high school? Like, were you a smoker like like in, you know, while you were in school and shit?
Like not as much as I do now. I was more like occasionally like at parties, like when I went out with friends before like playing like soccer with my friends. But then like after high school, like when I didn't have school and I was really just focusing on snakes, I indulged a bit more. That's when like I found out like it actually like helped me more. Because like at first obviously it really hit me and I was like, holy cow. But then after I built a tolerance, that's when like I can actually see the positive effects of it. And it kept me more focused and it pushed me in directions where I am today. So I don't say I wouldn't be here without weed, but like weed definitely attributed to this. Like my creativity side, like and seeing like the opportunities I had and like give me like almost like no fear. Like there's no fear in it. Like I could just jump in.
Yeah, bro. And that's why I'm like, people like, you know, don't really trip out on how I smoke. Just knowing like the way I smoke is the way I smoke. And that's just like, you know, I'm pretty sure there's certain things that other people do that trip me out. Like people are just really good at certain things. You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to say smoking weed is a good thing, but listen, it just helps me. You know what I mean? I like it a lot. And I'll tell you one thing, what's weird about smoking for me, man, all day I could smoke, keeps my energy high. But for some reason, when that sun goes down and I start smoking still, and I put like, you know, like once I stop down, like once I smoke and I sit down and smoke, that's when I become a waste. Like, you know, if I smoke and especially after been running around all day and I sit down, I put those feet up, and you know what I mean? And then I look at my phone and I go, oh, what's up, homie? Oh, what's up, dog? Oh, what's good? Oh my God, look at this snake. Oh my God, did Austin just make that flip cup? Really? You know, you just don't leave. You know what I mean? So I tend to just make sure if I smoke, I'm moving. I'm always moving because there's time. Have you ever felt too, like where you haven't smoked in a while and you're dragging ass and you're like, oh,
you need it at that point. It's like,
yeah, because we're potheads, so where we need it.
Yeah. And even like when you're going where you're saying you switch the strains, like sometimes if you switch a strain, like the strain is not compatible with you. Like I've had that before. Like it almost made me feel like sick. I need to go back to like, the old strain, or else like my mind just wouldn't be like in the right position.
Yeah, it's crazy. Now, do you have? Let me ask you this, like. Because I could tell you one thing, right? If I don't smoke, I have no appetite. Like I can't eat.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
Okay. And it's terrible too, because like that's one thing why, like, that's probably the one thing that scares me about smoking weed so much is like I do need it to eat. I do need it to sleep. Like it's like my lifetime prescription. And like the only time like I've ever was able to like go, wait, when was the last time? Hold on. I'm trying to think. I was like, wait, I was in Mexico, but I did bring weed to Mexico, which don't do that. Nobody bring weed to Mexico. I brought like dabs. Oh my God, my wedding. My wife was like, what the fuck? And I brought, because I was like, dude, I'm gonna need this shit. So I brought like, okay, so the dab pens, like there's pens and it has the coil, like it gets hot and you can put dabs in it.
Yeah.
So I brought that down. I brought that down with me to my wedding in Mexico, brand new, like there's nothing in it, smoked, right? And then I put it in a vape box, like so it just looked like a vape. It just like looked like one of those vape pins, right? And then I put my dabs like in, but like in a little, whatever. I put it in that box.
Yeah.
And dude, I just fucking started feeling that thing, and I was walking on the beach, and the white sand just getting ripped. Oh my! And I'm not gonna lie, that made my vacation probably like 20 times better. I mean, it was already great, but bro, you know what it's like to be just
100%.
Bro, because especially when you're smoking bomb in Mexico, like where like you know what I mean? I wanted to hook like a resident up, but I was like, nah, he's gonna tell somebody, so I can't enjoy it with anybody but me and my wife. Even my wife that was hitting the pen too, she's like, all right, this is a good call. And I was like, yeah, I was like, you know it. I was like, dude, we were at a resort, bro, where it was all you can eat. Like all you
That's crazy. You guys must have went off.
It was all inclusive. Like you're there, everything, you don't pay for shit. Everything's like you just go. All you can drink, all you can eat. And man, bro. And then I was getting I went through my dabs and like 3 grams and it was gone. I smoked so much. And yeah, either way, I don't know. It's just funny. You're really a pothead like me. I love it.
Yeah. I went to Portugal last year. Like the first couple of days, there was no weed. I couldn't find weed, and I was like, "Oh my God!"
Yeah, and you don't want to go looking for stuff in Portugal. You know what I mean? Like,
I did.
You did? Oh, you're savage. I mean,
like
you got family there too, though.
Yeah, but like I went to like the main city, Lisbon. I don't have any family there, and then I was just going around at nighttime looking. Found some hash. It was pretty cool.
Okay, cool. Damn. Hash in Portugal, because I mean, how far is Portugal from Amsterdam? Like where all this shit comes from? It probably wasn't grown in Portugal, right?
No, definitely. It's probably Morocco, because Morocco's like just a little.
Morocco. That's where a lot of drugs are ported through. Morocco is like the huge port. Yep, you're right. Have you ever traveled anywhere else besides Portugal?
Just the States and Portugal.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And you've been to America, right?
Yeah, just Massachusetts a few times, in New York.
Okay, cool. Oh yeah, you just said the States. When I hear the States, I don't always remember America sometimes.
Sorry.
I always think I thought, okay, it's talking about states of Portugal. That shows how high I am. All right, cool. So let's talk about a little bit. America, right? Like the breeders in America. Like you've gone to any shows in America yet?
No, I didn't have the opportunity.
Okay, cool. Are you looking forward to doing that at some point? Like once things are back to normal, or at least a little bit more normal, or what do you think?
Billy was talking about all of us going, the whole crew. So
wow.
So we're all going to come. I think we're going to go to Tinley. I think he was talking about Arlington.
Pomona, bro. We need you in Cali. We need the MC crew in Cali, bro.
I love Cali.
Cali. I got these wristbands, these VIP Taco Tour wristbands. And I'm telling you right now, I could come up with at least 4 more. And we will go, bro. I'm talking about the bombest of the bombest places, bro. Like, you'll never look at anyone else's taco picture ever again and be like, what? Like, you'll just, it will really fuck with your head that much. I'm telling you, bro.
I'm down.
I got you guys on that. All right, man. So, as far as inspiration-wise go, I know Billy's probably one of your biggest ones, right? For sure.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anyone else out there that you kind of like look up to, or they're like, you look at projects that they're just consistent with and you're just like, fuck, like, dude, this guy's on fire. Like, is there anyone off the top of your head you can think of?
Justin, right off the top. Like his marketing, the way he markets is just insane. Like he
market genius, bro.
Oh, like ball pythons, a lot of people think it's just breeding, but like to have a successful business, it's a lot of business sense. And like the way that Justin just portrays himself, like professionally, the way he like just markets his animals, it's so like well like put together. It must have took him years to even build that. He's just one of the best at it. Like if you ever want to look at marketing and how to do it properly, Justin, just insane.
And what's crazy is like you don't even need to look at much to see what this guy does. He makes it real obvious on how he puts his stuff out there. It is nuts.
And even like the format he puts it, like how he shows it to you. Like it's very well put together. Like it's a formulated plot. So it's really.
I'm gonna say this with all due respect because Justin's my boy, and I'm, you know what I mean. He's smart. He's not fucking, slow by any means. Obviously, JK, he's fucking on point. But this guy does so much to push his brand that he puts himself in really uncomfortable positions, bro. Like Justin, I'm gonna tell you right now, man. I know I could, and I could be wrong. I'm not Mr. Perfect, but I just know that your first thing in this wouldn't be to want to be on camera. Like I could just tell that, like, you are so more just scientists, like fucking just putting shit together that, if it was up to you, maybe camera thing wouldn't be your first go-to, but you do it anyways. Like he puts himself, and I'm saying this because the comedy thing he did.
That was amazing. I was not expecting.
The comedy, like I was like, what? Like this motherfucker is literally testing himself. Like he's putting himself in, and you have to like get out of your comfort zone. And that's the only way you come. Like your brain just expands and like you become more mastermind at shit that you want to do. So I pay attention to this shit. I know, you know what I mean? And like, again, I could be wrong. Justin could be like, no, man, I'm actually 100% love behind the camera. I mean, I'm sorry if that's the case. This is what my MJ's perspective. But anyways, dude, that guy right there just does what he has to do to push the brand. And anything he does is not like bad. It's all positive and it gives people ideas. Like, bro, I feed off this guy, bro. Like, it's nuts.
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
It's nuts. And like, he's nonstop, he keeps outdoing himself. Like every time. It's like, I'm not surprised anymore. And it sucks because I like being surprised, but it still doesn't suck to know that there's shit that who knows what's coming. You know what I mean? Like, but he knows.
He knows. I don't even know what's coming. I just know he's gonna do some crazy stuff in the upcoming years. And I see him working a lot with the Ultramel project now too. And that's why I'm glad I got into it. And I see he's putting into his Ultramel Clown, Ultramel Cryptics, Ultramel Kryptons.
Yeah.
I really like where that's going. So I really want to see where he puts it.
Now, okay, if advice for anyone, right? Because it's one thing that I get hit up about, and I try to, I do my best to just reply by simply saying, like, ball pythons isn't my strength. Like, I have ball pythons, but like, my main focus and what I'm adding is like chondros and fucking emerald trees, like, you know what I mean? But I still love my ball pythons, but like I literally rely on like the homies I have to where if I want to add something, I just go to them and I add it, right? But I get hit up a lot, bro, and people say, hey man, I want to get into this. I want to start, like, what morphs would you start off with? And everyone has the same answer. Like, you got to find out what you like, but at the end of the day, you got to follow certain people. You got to go like find out what you like, right? But what would your advice be to somebody who just needs some sort of direction?
The best thing to do is pick one or two recessives. I would pick two recessives and look for the bigger recessives: clowns, pieds, ghosts, ultramels, desert ghosts. Look for those ones. Look for ones that you really like, because you're not going to want to jump in a project you don't like, and just really dive into it. Look for females. Don't look for males at first. Buy females. Don't even look for males at all. Grow up those females for a year. When they're almost ready to breed, then look for your males. So when the male's ready, she's ready, and just really look for that one project. And then when you establish that one recessive, go to the next recessive, push that recessive, and then you go and put the two recessives together down the line. Start working your double recessive projects.
Okay, respect. Now, is there, I mean, what would you say is a must recessive gene you should have in your collection? Like, what would you say the staple one is? Like, you got to at least have this.
Clown. It has to be clown. Like,
clown's been 10 for 10. Like, all right, guys, we already know. We should know clown is like the first like stamp. Right.
And then after clown, you're probably gonna want for a color mutation. There's like desert ghost is high up there. You have hypo, which is high up there, and then you have like ultramel, lavenders, all these other ones. Because usually, like, if you put two pattern mutations together, clown pied, it looks amazing. But the next thing to do to that is like add color to it now. So I think like a lot of people should go for one color mutation and one pattern mutation, and then look to add them together down the line.
Yeah. I mean, for sure. Because I mean, at the end of the day, like, I feel like people, especially people who don't have $100,000-$200,000 to start off, right? They still kind of put themselves in a position where it's like, yo, you're cutting yourself short here. Like you're kind of shooting for the moon, where it's more than that. Like it's more of like that foundation. You know what I mean? Because I mean, like, how long did you go before you started breeding? Like, let's just say, like, how long were you collecting your animals before you had that first female who was ready to breed?
I took the easy way out, and I bought proven breeders right off the bat in high school. So, but I learned that was not the best thing to do real quickly. And then I started buying hatchlings, and I realized I used to look at buying hatchlings like, oh, I could probably make that next year. And then the next year, sometimes I wouldn't even hit it. And then I'm looking back like I should have bought that last year, because now that girl's a year old for me. And it's pushing my project that much further, because I thought I was going to hit it, and you don't always get those odds. Sometimes you don't even have the clutch. So like sometimes you just have to go and get those smaller females and grow them up, because it's the only way to get to those bigger projects. Because you see everybody has breeder clown females, and people are like, oh, I want to buy a breeder clown female, but no one really wants to let go of their breeder clown females because they grew them up themselves. And they're still producing like thousands of dollars with the clutches, or making a crazy double head that they're going to need for the future. So the only way to get into these projects is to go from the bottom and build up. You have to build up from the hatchlings. So the best thing to do is just to go in, look for a solid foundation, a nice recessive morph female. Like go invest a little bit. If it's all, don't invest all your money in that female. Save a little bit aside for the male in the future. Go and even invest more for that male. And now just push your project that much further than going to go buy hets, or buying a het male and going 1 in 4 odds. Like, this will push your project. It'll take a year longer to produce, but you'll have a lot more to do.
So you're saying the best thing you should do is make your own hets.
Make your own,
and hold them back. Make your own hets and hold them back.
But I think you should go buy females that are already visuals. And then if you want to go buy another visual male, I would never put like a clown to a clown. That's just me. But if you're starting out your collection and you want to establish your clown base, a clown to a clown wouldn't be the worst thing. But I stress, if you're starting your collection, just don't do head-to-head. If head-to-head's your only option, then go for it. But head-to-head pairings, it's not going to push your collection that much, because when you miss, everything's 66% het now. You don't have those 100% hets to hold back or even sell. So you lose value there, and it just sets you back when you miss the odds too.
But to be clear, if all you got is a clown male, you use that motherfucker.
Oh, 100%. But just to look for the future, always trying to push like your double recessives, or even go into your triple recessives.
Right.
Push other codoms into it, because these projects are going to take us years. But when you actually make it, that's the payoff. Like it pays off like your time waiting. Your funds will come from the project, and you can just really start that project and like just see all that time really go into a beautiful thing. It's just amazing.
Sounds amazing. And it sounds like, man, you're just the mindset. Like, this is the kind of mindset I like. You got to use these mindsets as examples, because it's all longevity influence. Everything he's thinking is for the long run. It's not for next year or even 2 years, like 3, 4, 5 years down the road. That's that mutation mentality. That's why Billy is creating shit that no one, even Billy, okay, like let's just talk about what Billy's creating. Is shit that nobody could ever seen before, because it's all years and years and years and years of shit being produced, backed into each other, set aside. You know what I mean? Like, Billy's is really smart with his shit, bro. Like, and he has secret hitters. You know what I mean? He just has things that just come out of the woodworks, and that should be like, that's the reward. You know, the reward should be 10 years down the road. It shouldn't be like 2-3 years. You know, like, I mean, but each year's a reward. Don't get me wrong, but like,
it's a stepping stone.
It's all stepping stones, bro. And like, you're always going to keep stepping on stones.
Yeah, you just have to keep climbing, man. The ladder doesn't stop.
Yeah. Oh man, the ladder doesn't stop. And then, you know, and no disrespect to people who get off the ladder. I mean, there's always time for you to get off, but motherfuckers just going to keep passing you up.
100%. If you don't have that heart in it, someone else will. So if you want to be the best, you have to do what you can, and then more, because if you really want to go up the ladder, you have to put all your effort, and then what else more can I do to push myself in this direction? What am I not doing?
Yeah, it cringes me, man, when like in the beginning, I remember I would like kind of how I was talking about, like the ball pythons got like to where I was like, damn, what am I doing? And I had to downsize a lot because I was like, I had like spider shit and I just had stuff I just didn't want, right? So I had to downsize a lot. Well, I kind of put myself in the position with the green tree pythons. Like I ended up getting a bunch of like localities that were, I was like, well, I want to work with better ones, right? I want to kind of up it up. And you know, the thing with green trees, like they're not ready in 2-3 years. They're ready in like 5-6 years, you know, that's when they're really ready, you know. Maturity is everything with these snakes. So, you know, as I was raising collections, I was like, oh, I want to get in different stuff, you know, and whatnot. So I would try to meet people who like was really like, they sold themselves to like, they want to get into green trees. And I'm like, fuck yeah. I was like, well, I have this. Why don't you do this? And let's go. You know what I mean? And I had too many situations where the motherfuckers would just flip it, you know, and that fucking right there, like dude, that hurts. Like, that's like, you know, for whatever reason, the person just didn't want to work with it or whatever reason, like, you know, it's sad, you know, like that. I mean, and that's fine. You know, if you don't want an animal, it's fine. But like, honestly, he really wasn't all about what he said he was all about. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, like, regardless, if you love an animal and you really want an animal, like your intention shouldn't be just to fucking flip it. You know what I mean? Like, at all, you know, and to each their own. I know circumstances happen, but I mean, that person could have known damn well he could have just hit me up and gave me back that snake, you know, but it didn't happen, you know. But that right there is like what I want to avoid. I want to avoid any of that kind of shit, you know. And at the end of the day, there's some things you can't really avoid. And I'll tell you what, man, I'll always have the ball pythons in my life, because if I ever do want to have money making snakes, it will be ball pythons. It will 100% be ball pythons, and more than likely will never be green trees, and more than likely will never be shit that I have to wait 6, 7, 8 years for to breed. And then not only that, man, the hatch ratio, and then, you know, there's just so much effort that goes into putting this something to get established on certain species. You know what I mean? And all I know is like, I know that I work with animals for the right reason. You know, it's not for the fucking money. You know what I mean? And if it is, like, because don't get me wrong, I want to be a full-time reptile keeper for sure, 100%. But I only know that's feasible if you have a couple hustles and you have a good establishment with the ball pythons. You know what I mean? Because ball pythons will always sell. That's America's favorite reptile. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. And you know, I don't, probably Canada's too. You know what I mean? I mean, what would you say the most popular reptile is in Canada? Like the first go-to reptile in Canada is?
Probably a ball python.
Right? Right?
Yeah. I think it goes like bearded dragons.
Bearded, right?
Geckos.
All right, hold on. You said bearded. What's up with the homie Eli? Let's talk about the homie Lord a little bit, dog. I love that guy, dog. He's a big beast with the best energy, bro. Like, you know what I mean? How tall is he? Do you know how tall he is? I'm just always curious how tall he is.
He's 6 feet.
He's about my size, like my height, but I mean, he's definitely more small than me. But yeah,
throw me like.
I love that dude's energy, man. Did you guys know each other before going to Billy's, or like how'd that work?
Well, I met him at the CRBE in 2018 or 2019. I'm not too sure which one. That's when he started. I think it was 2019. And he came. We had Miguel came, Justin, like everyone came pretty much. And we met him at the expo. He came up for dinner. I sat next to his brother. We started talking, and since then we just became friends. And he didn't live too far from me, so I picked him up, and every day we just ride to work together, hang out after, work out together.
Sick. That's like, I mean, that's another like piece of the MC puzzle. That's just like, damn, that shit's like, that's solid. You know what I mean? Because I had him on the show, you know, like a couple months back, and his connection with the bearded dragons was
it's insane.
Oh my God. Like, honestly, I thought this fool was like, not to say like he isn't big, but like when I first came across his content, I thought he was like a superstar. Like, I thought he was like a celebrity. Like, I could probably never talk to this guy. I thought he was on another level, bro. And I, you know what I mean? And I found out how down to earth and real he was when I fucking met him through Miguel. Like, I didn't meet him through Miguel, but I saw Miguel putting him on his stories, and I was like, who's this fool? And you know, he obviously Latino and stuff like that. And it's just like, I just vibed with them immediately, and the biggest thing I vibed with was how he fucked with his animals, bro. And like,
well, he has a big heart for his animals. He loves them.
You gotta love that, bro. You know what I mean? Like, oh man, it's awesome. And like, you know, R.I.P. Bibby. You know, he had the sick ass, his legendary, you know, bearded dragon that passed away not too long ago. But like, was that the superstar one? Was that the one that would always like dance for him and shit like that? Huh?
Wilbert's the one that usually like head bobs.
Okay, that's the one, but like to like dancing to the baby and shit like that, right?
Oh, that's Wilbert, yeah. BB was like orange.
Orange, but that was like that was like the cream of the crop for him. Like that was like the main.
That was the star. She was like his pride and joy.
Yeah,
BB, like
all
she was,
right, bro, good ass. But anyways, like that I'm glad that drew me to Lord's page. And then like, you know, it's funny because I followed both of you guys. Well, I followed you as soon as I started seeing you do flip cups at MC, but I followed Lord before he went to before he did the collaboration with you and MC. So it was really cool to see all that mesh together and then I saw his true passion for ball pythons and like, and bro, this motherfucker uploads so many videos, bro. Like every day I saw him at Starbucks, like, you know what I mean? And I was like, he's on fire. I was like, dog, he is outdoing everybody right now. Like, you know what I mean? Like a beast. And that's why I was like, I can't be a vlogger, bro. I was like, that's a lot of work. Like it was making my head hurt. Like when I was trying to like put up daily videos of like my day to day. No, bro. Like you guys all each do something that's so hard to do on a day-to-day basis, bro. Like whether if it's you keeping, you know, taking care of snakes, pairing, you know, Billy doing his mastermind behind the shit, and then Lord doing all his videos and fucking updates. Like, bro, all that shit's tedious. Like it's hard to do every day in consistency. And I can guarantee if one buddy falls off, it affects the whole flow. I'm sure, right? So like, you know, what's your guys' communications like? You know, like for instance, I mean, I'm sure there's days where you're sick, right? I mean, I know, do you guys fucking roll to work sick? Like, do you plow through it or like?
Yeah, well, some days we go off for sick, but usually most days we're there. Sometimes I come in a little late.
Does Billy ever take time off? Like, did you ever see Billy like just like not come around for a day or something at all?
When he takes a vacation, and he hasn't taken a vacation in a long time. Like last time was I believe March before COVID, like or March of 2019 or 2020.
Yeah. Okay. You know, and that makes me feel good because, you know, you see Billy have the biggest smile on his face when he's on vacation. You know what I mean? And you know he deserves that shit. You know what I mean? Like he could just break away and just fucking just, you know, be at whatever country he wants to be in with his girlfriend and just live life. You know what I mean?
Oh, he still thinks about the snakes. Last time he did a live with who was it again?
This guy
did it with
who?
Yeah. Blue Line Morphs. He did a live with him.
Where was he at?
He was inside of Colombia.
Fucking Billy, bro. Billy, you need to chill next time.
Hey, he's
like mad, man.
He doesn't sleep. He doesn't stop working. He gets there every day. Like he's the first one there, last one to leave. And he goes home. He's on the phone replying to people. He's doing stuff for Morph Market. He's doing podcasts like every night. Like this guy doesn't stop.
I'm not there yet, bro, but if anyone follows my stories, you'll know I go to bed around 11 o'clock at night, a little bit later sometimes, and I'm up at 4 a.m, bro. So I have a little taste of what I'm like, you know, just recently too, I've been getting so much like fucking DMs, like, you know, because of like what happened recently in the show, right? So like I've been getting all these responses and I'm like, bro, this is the shit I guarantee Billy goes through every day. Like, you know what I mean? And like, well, you know, my head, like, I feel like I've been going through some sort of fucking like hell week or training camp or stuff, but my mind's been through a lot like the last couple of days.
Yeah.
But anyways, I'm just like, damn, respect, bro. Like that's nonstop work. And, you know, I tell you what, Billy gets to everyone because he responds to me all the time, like all the time. And like, he always gets, he just gets to me quick. And I'm just like, damn, bro, thanks, Billy. Like, I appreciate that. And, you know, I mean, he did a huge thing for me yesterday as well. So I just think it's awesome. The work ethic that's all around. And then we can't forget Katherine, right? So her name's Katherine, correct? Yeah. So let's talk about Katherine real quick because I want to know more about Katherine. And then I'm like, see what her schedule's like after this. We got to get the whole team, you know. But I'm just saying, tell me about Katherine. How did she get a part of the team and whatnot? If you know about that.
She got introduced. Oh, sorry, just cut over for a second. She got introduced to us by Tyler, and we just needed someone to help us because we had someone quit. We had a person. And so she came in, and she was really good with the cleaning. She worked really hard, and then she also told us she was a photographer. That was her full-time job.
Whoa!
And, so now she starts taking all the pictures for Mutation creation for Morph Market and all that. She does a lot of the behind the scenes. She doesn't only like she started as cleaning. Now she's like a whole different entity. Like she does a lot of work. She does a lot of hard work.
Damn, shout out to Katherine. Do you guys call her Katherine or Kathy? Or is it just Katherine?
Just Kath.
Kath? What'd you say?
We call her Kath.
Kath. Shout out to Kath. Kath is hard. Kath is real hard. That's tight. So and like, what is that? What do you think? Like, how does she fit in with dudes? You know what I mean? Because obviously like, there's 3 dudes, and then you got, you know, this little innocent girl coming in. So how does she fitting in with you guys?
No, we're all cool. Like, we're really good friends. We just joke around all day. She meshed pretty good. It was pretty funny.
Respect. Does she smoke?
Not like we do. She smokes like occasionally, but like she doesn't smoke at work or anything like that.
So wait, okay, when you say we, so okay, so Lord smokes then, obviously, right? So Lord is
with me, but like Lord does a bit. He indulges a little bit. Not as much as I do though.
But Billy don't do nothing. He's completely 100% just, you know, water and coffee.
He's coffee. That's Billy. Coffee and just energy.
Coffee all day.
Yeah.
And passion.
Yeah, he just endless amounts. It's insane.
Yeah, it is insane. But I like I said, man, I understand when you just have things on your mind and you have fucking goals to accomplish, and you know you're this close. Like I'm sure there's everything, like there's always like some sort of clutch or something that's this close to happening, and Billy just needs to be ready. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's why Billy's always ready, you know, like because there's something about to hatch or there's something about to go down that he needs to be a part of or something. I don't know.
There's always stuff running around there. Like it never ends. And it's just like, that's why it never gets boring. It's always interesting. Like every day is like a new thing. Some days you do the same thing, but it's never the same. It's like some days you get bit feeding. Some days you're like dodging snakes. Some days no one tries to bite you. Some days you just have like fun things happen, like unexpected clutches, crazy egg cuttings. It's just like, wow, every day.
Now I know Billy's, you know, the star with the scissors, but how many clutches do you cut
at Mutation Creation?
Yeah,
I cut like the most I ever cut in a year probably was like 5, and all of them are off camera except for one. We did like a race to Eli Lord. But yeah, Billy doesn't really. It's his show, right? So he gets.
You got your own clutches to cut, anyways. You know what I mean?
So,
respect.
Yeah,
that's fucking funny, dude. Now let me ask you this: with the feeding regiments, right? Like with you feeding the animals, I'm sure obviously you're part of the feeding part of the keeper. Is it just one person, or how many people actually feed all the animals? Like who's in charge?
Now it's like it's almost a full team effort now.
Okay.
Like I pretty much feed my side. Billy helps. Well, Katherine's really just started feeding. Like in our last video, we showed her that she was feeding with vanilla. We showed that little trick, and she's really good with. Like, she gets everything. She's diligent with it. Lord is too. Billy, he doesn't feed as much as he used to now. More sits back and watches because we all have a lot of experience now, and he like really taught us what he does and how to feed and which ones to feed at certain times. Which ones like in shed we usually don't offer food, or like if they're too close to ovulation, like this is the last time we'll offer them food.
Right. Okay. Now, when it comes to feeding, though, like, does Billy have you guys feed a certain way that he wants you to feed? Like, is there certain, like, did you guys have to train Kath a little bit on like, hey, listen, this is like what you need to do? Because you guys feed live, right?
Yeah. So like we have this little like we pull the bin out and we just do a little flip with the rat tail, and we just plop them inside the bin and we just close it. It saves us from getting bit by the snake. It saves us getting bit from the rat because the rats do bite too, and the rat bite's a lot worse than a snake bite, like 20 million times worse.
They sure.
Like a medium rat, they'll take a nice chunk out of you, and so we just plop them in that way and we just close it up. And we usually like turn the labels if we have labels, or we leave the bin open a bit, and then we come back and check after like an hour or two.
Smart. So I was going to ask you that, like, what do you guys do to ensure that fucking rat got killed? So you guys flip the label upside down, continue on, right? What were you going to say?
We put it on like an angle, so it's like really like, so you can't even open the bin without telling if it was checked.
Right. Because I mean, that the way that label's position means something. Like it all means something, right? So obviously that's how you guys work.
Mm-hmm. Now that we got the freedom breeder, we don't have the magnet system anymore, so it's a little bit different. We have these clips, and like the clips mean something different in every room. So like there's a legend in the middle on the side of the bins, and then I don't know about the hatchling room, but my room, like red means it didn't eat, yellow clip means it's ready to breed, a yellow and black clip means it's almost ovulating, black clip means it's ovulated, And then a green clip means it's an ASFer.
What new racks did you say you got?
The freedom breeders.
Got you. Ah, got you.
That's pretty smooth.
Got you, Jesse. Come on, you like that fucking commercial clip? No, dude, freedom breeders, bro. My God, I'm telling you right now, that's my focus this year. Other than just keep buying expensive animals, I want to go ahead and I want my boreal room to be decked out in focus cube habitats, and then I want my the big snake room where all the ball pythons, the more girthy snakes and shit.
Mm-hmm.
I want them to be completely fucking freedom breeder out. So obviously really expensive fucking goals, you know what I mean? Because freedom breeder, because A, they don't lose value. They're professional as fuck. They're sturdy as fuck. Like Jesus,
they kill PVC and melamine. And if you have that and you go to freedom breeder, you're never gonna want to go back.
I'm telling you right now, he's spitting facts. Okay, but that shit's expensive, bro. I mean, it's an investment. You're not going to ever get rid of it. It's a long life, because if you think about it, you spend money on a cheaper cage or something, it's going to deteriorate eventually, and you're going to have to spend more money, you know? And I'm talking about within 2-3 years, you're going to always be buying more enclosures. You know what I mean? I hope so, because you don't want your animal being a fucking disgusting enclosure. Exactly. So freedom breeder just makes it, their design is longevity design. It's for, it doesn't, you could have that thing forever. You know what I mean? But yeah, at the end of the day, you got to get ready for that. I mean, some people ain't an issue to drop fucking 10 racks on a bunch of enclosures or, racks. But a lot of people like myself, I don't have fucking 10 racks just to drop. It would take time, a couple clutches and whatnot for me to get that kind of money. But at the end of the day, it's up to me. I have to make that a goal. You know what I mean? Some people make getting a certain snake a goal. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, we got to remember longevity, right? What do you keep your snakes in? And teach their own. I'm telling you, I have fucking Home Depot racks that I built when I first started, because I had no money when I first started in this. And these fucking motherfucking Home Depot racks have been working so legit to where yeah, they're good because I've been able to save money because I haven't spent money on it yet. But dude, they, like you said earlier, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know what I mean? Motherfucking clutch is coming. You know what I mean? And after I start talking to them, I'm really going to be going fucking 20 for 20. You feel me? So, at the end of the day, though, you do got to set goals for yourself, because I'm sure when you actually do set goals and you accomplish them, it feels good. And I'll tell you what, that's the big reward feeling about this hobby industry, because a lot of things do take time. Things do take time to get that accomplishment. But once you do, it's fuck yeah. But then it's a vicious cycle, because you're all right, what's the next goal?
You look at this whole hobby as a business sense, like I was saying earlier, and the racks, it is an investment, because let's say you were to buy a freedom breeder, and let's say it costs you $3,000 or $4,000, and you want to sell. Let's say that you want to upgrade your rack in the future, 3 or 4 years down the line. Instead of having a melamine rack that you spent maybe $500 to build, you can't even sell that for $100 now. You spend $4,000, you can sell for almost maybe $500 to $1,000 less than what you've invested. Yeah. And you got so much out of it. You got practical use. It saved you time because of just how ergonomic it is. It's really cool.
And you're gonna have motherfuckers waiting to buy it. That shit's gonna go, bro. If you put a freedom breeder rack up, it is gone. Yeah, those are gems, bro. Those are just fucking diamonds in the rough. If you could find one, people will even charge a lot of money for them. I'm talking about some, even ones that are made in the 90s. Motherfuckers will still ask a couple grand for them and shit. And it's what? But it is what it is. You're paying for what you're getting, so that's why I've always respected freedom breeder. And, and I will say I will give props also to the other sponsor, Focus Cube Habitats, because for instance, people who keep a lot of boreals, green trees and shit, obviously freedom breeders, not yet at least, but they're not designed to keep snakes like that, so if you need snakes in that 4 feet, 3 feet enclosures that need to be moved around a lot, because freedom breeder, what do they have? They got wheels. They got shit where you could just, when you got these other species of snakes that need different design enclosures, how do you move those? With help, you need help, right? But when you got them in PVC enclosures, that's a one-person job. That shit's so much right. So that's why I'm God damn, I can't wait. It's you know what I mean? I'm not just saying this because you're the sponsor, but they are two legit enclosure companies that could fucking fit your needs. Both of them can fit your needs. If you need things in a rack, freedom breeder. You need things in an arboreal type setting, or even up like an open face slide. They got 4x2s too, but PVC is where it's at because it's fucking, you know, it is plastic and, you know, it cleans easily, but you could just move it around. Like you could lightweight, bro. And what's crazy is too, Focus Cube Habitats is building something like the design of Freedom Breeder, but it's all like front face enclosures. Like imagine a bunch of 2x2 and they're just stacked together and you could just move that around. You know what I mean? Legendary. Man, this has been a great hour and a half, bro. I mean, I have to say this has been a good time with you, Austin, as I knew it would be. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you fucking not getting that great of sleep and still plowing through this for me, bro, because you're the man. What are you off today? Are you going to Mutation Creations or
right after this?
Oh, you're the man, bro. Respect. Now, before you do get out of here, you know you got to get hit with some hot seat questions, okay? So, are you ready for some hot seat questions?
Yep, let's do this.
All right, man. So my man Austin wrapping it up. We got some hot seat questions for the homie, the King. Wait, hold on. Why they call you the King?
Florida Lion gave me that name.
All right.
These pythons before, and then one time in a video I put a crown of cocoa. Oh no, a freedom breeder. Not freedom breeder. Oh my god.
You took cocoa. I can't even say it now. Reptile.
Reptile. There you go. Reptile. I took two of the labels and I made a little circle and I put it on my head for a video, and he called me King Austin, and then just stuck.
There it is. All right. You want to know why my family calls me King Michael? Because I always got my fucking way. And I was the first son in the family. Like I was like the first son in the whole So like I just literally, like, you go to my grandpa's house. My grandpa's the best fucking cook, and I'm not just saying that. He is like the best fucking cook I've ever had in my entire life, and he was legendary cooking outside his house because he had a kitchen. And then when you walk up to his kitchen, it says my name right above the fucking right. So everyone, like, you know, they don't say it like, oh, he's the king. Really, they're saying it like a smart ass. Trust me. But that's why they. That's why I was like, I wonder if they call him King Austin because of that. But no, it's different. All right, sick. Hot seat questions time for the man Austin. Man, I don't need you to explain any of the answers. Just shoot them out, bro. Be quick with it. You ready?
Okay, let's go.
Hot seat question time. Here we go. Frozen thought or live?
Live.
A cutter or no cutter?
Oh, cut. 100% cut.
All right. Big flexor or no flexor?
I'd rather not flex.
Respect. Football or hockey?
Hockey.
All right. Steak or fish?
I'll go for the fish.
All right, cool. Eminem or Machine Gun Kelly?
Eminem.
Future or Drake?
I'll go for Future.
Thank God. Whew, I was sweating. Come on, bro. Drake's for the women. You know that. All right. West Coast rap or East Coast rap?
I'll go West Coast.
All right, cool. Little word association. First thing to come to mind. Milk.
Cheerios.
Cocoa.
Butter.
Damn, the next one's butter.
Milk.
All right, cool. Stuck shed.
Snake.
Day 52.
Cut.
Nice. Instagram trolls.
I'll just hold back on that one.
No, okay, hold back. You got nothing? What's the first thing came to your? I know one thing came to your mind. You could just say it.
No. I just rather go to controversy. Sorry about that.
Respect. No, respect. Honestly, from what I just went through, respect. I appreciate that one. All right, so no comment, but you know what he means. One has to go forever, and I mean forever. Like, you know, God came down and was like, yo, bro, you got to pick. I'm about to take one out of your life. Instagram or Facebook? Which one would it be?
Facebook.
That's it, man. Dude, this was like the most cracking Saturday morning I've ever had. Thank you for sharing your rips with me. Thanks for having, this conversation. You are definitely an inspiration, bro. You inspired not only me, but Brian Cusco and many others, man. And Brian Cusco is the inspiring type. Like, he inspires and you inspired him. I think that's probably the biggest thing that you should be excited. One of the biggest things you should be excited about this episode is how much you're inspiring people, bro. So good job on that, man. Thank you so much for being a great inspiration. And you're actually a leader in the industry, man. You, the team over at MC, you guys are doing great things. So continue to lead this industry, man. You guys are awesome. Now, you do have a bunch of support. Like I said, you had a bunch of people watching you. today. But what do you have to say to all your supporters out there, everyone who's here to show you love?
Oh, every time like someone messages me, I'm so all the positivity. Like I couldn't be more grateful. I just want to thank everybody for like supporting me, just watching me on my journey. Like everything is just too sweet, and I'm just grateful for all of it. And like I just couldn't imagine where I am right now. I couldn't imagine like even being here. I just want to say thank you to you as well for even putting me on here. It's amazing.
Bro.
Just the whole community, like how like much love and like positivity there is. Like I just think it's a beautiful place. Of course, there's gonna be like those little people, those bad negative people, but like just ignore them and just keep on moving and like keep up with your positivity. And like I just love to see it and just spread it. So it's an amazing thing.
Well, I will do this again with you sometime soon, so don't even trip. We got a round 2 coming soon with the king himself, Austin from Royal Highness's Pythons. And yeah, man, fucking props to you, bro. You enjoy your day. Say shout out to fucking the whole team over there at MC. And yeah, man, bless up. Thank you so much. Have a good one.
You too. Ciao.
King Austin in the fucking building. Well, now he just left, but man, that was great. Really good show. Thank you so much for everyone who tapped in. Please do me a favor, man. If you really fucked with my man Austin here, hit the like button. If you didn't like anything about Austin, hit the dislike button. Show some sort of fucking feedback for my man. He spent his time out of his day to go ahead and give us his peace of mind and his experience. So show him something back. It don't cost nothing, man. Hit the like button. Leave a comment. Let him know if you're inspired. Any feedback matters. But I got to say right now, Austin, one of the biggest ones leading this industry. At his age, I'm telling you right now, man, act as if. Always act as if. The kid's being a leader right now, man. So shout out to him. Shout out to the team over at MC. Billy, good job on grooming these guys, man, and just being a leader also. I got to say, man, big respect to Billy, man. He's been like a big brother to me. So shout out to Billy. Shout out to the whole team. And shout out to the viewers. Thank you. You guys are awesome. You guys made this Saturday really, really popping. I really appreciate it. So you guys are obviously another, other than the guests, it all goes down to you guys. This podcast wouldn't be shit if it wasn't for you guys tuning in, tapping in, showing the support to the guest. You know what I mean? Because the guests are coming on here for a reason. It's because you guys are watching. So that being said, tune in next Thursday. We have an awesome guest coming, Trap Talk with MJ, and just be ready. If you want to support this channel more than a subscription, join the Patreon family, man. We got a great ass thing going. The trap community is growing. I'm now making an announcement, and I made an announcement already earlier to my Patreon members that I'm going to be doing a special Sunday night Trap Talk with MJ Zoom session with all my Patreon members every single Sunday. If you think these trap sessions are sick, just imagine what I'm going to bring to my Patreon members. It's going to fucking crack off. I'm not joking. So if you want to check that out, want to see what that's all about, go down to the link below, hit that Patreon link, and then go ahead and join the family. And then make sure after you do that, whatever you decide, the most important thing you need to do, donate to US ARC, man. Donate to the Reptile Recovery Fund, the 101 Fund, whatever it's called. I'm so sorry. Reptile Relief. I'm so sorry. Reptile Relief Fund. Please go support. All right. It really means a lot. And coming together is what's giving people hope. And this is what it's all about. All right. So I pray for everybody, anyone who's affected by not only the weather, but just by anything in life. Okay. Because yeah, the weather was something that really fucked a lot of us up. But people are going through shit no matter what. People are going through shit. People are always losing somebody. So at the end of the day, you really don't know what somebody's going through. Okay. So have compassion, and even if you see somebody that's not themselves, acting like not themselves, maybe, just, you never know what they're going through. I'm not giving myself any excuses. You guys know out there who are close to me. If I act out, you could come to me and check my ass. You guys already know, who you are. But other than that, my wife, other than that, man, just have compassion, guys. Let's have a little bit more heart, and I'm not just trying to say this to fucking be, I have a heart. I have a heart. And, sometimes I don't come off like I have a heart. Sometimes it's because I'm very content on who's in my life. Okay. And I'm not somebody who needs a lot of friends. Okay. But just because I don't need a lot of friends, that doesn't mean I can't help a lot of people. So I'm going to do my best. I'm not perfect, but I'm going to do my best. If you guys ever need anything, let me know. And just thank you, man. And if you don't like me and you still come to my show, thank you. That still means something to me because, like I said, it's not about me. It's about the guests and it's about the motherfucking snakes. It's about the animals. It's not about us. It's about the snakes.